Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching the final episode of me going from zero to hero on a Shadow Priest in the War Within Season 2. We have quite a bit of work left to do. We are at 2,386 rating. We've done 4 10s last night, mostly. I think the workshop I did, obviously, in the previous episode, but the other 3 I did last night. And I'm probably going to have to do a few more. And then when I'm just about to get the 2.5k, I'll do a full commentary. Snicky says, morning and good luck today. I'm going to thank them really quick. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through as many as I need to get as much rating as I need to. I am going to just not commentate. I'm going to try and warm up and actually do some good damage on the Shadow Priest. And then we'll see how the last run goes. Now, before we get started with that, I'm going to go ahead and announce 2 things. What I wanted to share with you is that you can choose which melee DPS spec I play by going to the poll linked at the top of the description. Before you vote, it is a ranked poll. Don't just click one of the options and then click vote. Don't do that because you're not actually voting for the thing you think you're voting for. You have to drag the things around, make sure that things are in order from your most favorite to your least favorite. For instance, if you want Fury Warrior to win, you will drag Fury Warrior to the top. If you absolutely hate Fury Warrior, you're going to drop Fury Warrior all the way to the bottom. That's how that works, and that's how polls will be done in the future whenever there's multiple options for us to pick. So there is that. Make sure you vote. I'm seeing a lot of love for Survival Hunters, so that would be interesting. And I think at the moment Unholy DK is winning. I guess I could ask Calibara for some pointers with that one, because he recently finished 0 to Hero on an Unholy DK. But yes, the other thing I would like to mention is that tomorrow will be a whole day stream. There will also be a stream today in the evening, but it's probably going to be just some, I don't know, random community keys with one of my random characters. But tomorrow is going to be a whole day stream, and it is also going to be the Definitely Not Goth stream, which we talked about multiple times. It took us a while, Danny and me, to get all the things we needed, but yesterday we went out, we did some shopping, and we got everything we wanted to turn Definitely Not Vlad into a Definitely Not Goth mommy. So tune in, it's going to be a fun one. We're just going to have fun and level the next character depending on what you guys vote for. So also make sure to vote. But that's all the shilling I have to do for the rest of my content. I am actually now going to go and try and join a +10 key that I haven't done yet. Ideally I'd do Floodgate, but honestly the chances of me getting into a Floodgate when the best I've timed is a 6 is next to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and try to join just about anything I haven't timed at a 10. Ideally not Cinderbrew Meadery, because that is just going to be rough to get into. But I'll take a Priory, a Motherload, or a, what's this called? Floodgate. Very, very gladly. 2-star +10 Motherload. Beautiful. Let's reroll our Rookery key into maybe something potentially that we want. I did the Rookery and I got the Rookery. I rerolled the Motherload in the Motherload and got the Motherload. So that's great. So looking at MPG now, we might be able to get away with just getting a 10 Floodgate done, or an 8 Floodgate, heck, even a 7 Floodgate, and then a 10 Priory. I think it's actually much more likely if I get an 8 Priory or a just a 10 Floodgate. Getting invited into one, well, that's going to be another matter entirely. So I'm going to try and get us into a Floodgate +10. If I manage to get into a Floodgate +10, I'm going to commentate the whole thing. And with that dungeon, we're pretty much done with Gob Cthulhu. Let's see if we can't make it happen.
A few moments later.
And here we go with a 10 Floodgate. I actually managed to get into this group so quickly that I was confused. I said, thank you for rescuing me from LFG prison. Looks like we're going left, but we're taking an unconventional route. We're not grabbing this group over here. We're running through the snipers. So we're going to be waiting here for a bit for these to patrol past us. And then we're going to go ahead and pull that group up there with Bloodlust, apparently. That's the plan. I'm going to start dotting some of these because there's going to be more than 8 targets. I'm going to put focuses down, and now we focus on our damage on that. We're going to send our stuff onto the blood DK. Hold on, I'm playing a different spec, so I was focusing on sending Halo here when that was clearly not the necessary. But let's see if we can do some good damage as Void Weaver for the end of the series. I don't expect to, but we'll see how it ends up working out. Oof, yeah, boy just almost went down from standing still in that shredation thingy, trying to interrupt whatever it is that I'm trying to interrupt over there. Unfortunately, didn't have dots on my main target, so that's always great. a little bit lost in the sauce here, but at least I didn't die like the red paladin, so that's nice. Tradition coming out, we're going to try moving while it's being cast. There's plenty of space around us, so I'm not too worried about us killing someone by moving on top of them and putting an extra Tradition down. I'm going to activate these bombs. Hopefully nobody gets hit by the bombs while we're running through. There we go. Managed to get through myself. Rebuffing our paladin friend. He's going to have to wait some more for those snipers. He got to sit this one out. Unfortunate for him. Going to put focus on that surveyor. Going to send Shadow Crash here. Going to interrupt the surveyor, and now we're going to send all of our shit. Devouring Plague up, and then send Void Torrent. That's the big thing, is make sure you have Devouring Plague up for this build that I'm running. Otherwise, you're going to be in a bad mood, because 40% of your Void Torrent damage will just get straight up negated. Using a Fear to try and interrupt that. Unfortunately, I sent the Fear a bit too soon, so he still managed to get his cast out. We do have Devouring Plague up. We can send another Void Torrent. I'm just going to be sending cooldowns on cooldown. I think that's the idea with this build. Not unfortunately. Fortunately for me, I don't want to have to think whether I should be sending cooldowns or not. I'm going to focus on the scaffolding here, because the scaffolding needs to die before we can properly damage the architect that is on top of it. Finally pulling some more trash along with it. It looks like some of it I didn't manage to connect my thingy with, but that's alright. We got our Devouring Plague, we got PI for our DK, and let's go again with the big cooldowns. Waiting for Shadow Crash before I start dotting things up. I don't particularly care. The architect needs to die first anyway. Scaffolding manages to get hit. We're going to focus on the scaffolding damage. Like I mentioned earlier, you can't damage the other guy, the architect, unless you actually take out the scaffolding, because he takes reduced damage while the scaffolding is up. We're going to send out our Halo, even though it doesn't really matter for this build. And then we're going to beam down the Surveyor with our Void Torrent. Keep sending Void Torrent right as everything's about to die, which is unfortunate, but we'll take care of it. Healer is piecing out because he sees that I'm taking care of the bomb, so we can move on to the next group. I think we're trying to pull everything in the courtyard. We're going to interrupt that. Are we done with the pull now? It looks like we're done with the pull. I'm going to look for the inspectors. I'm going to step a little bit closer so that if the inspectors jump to me, I don't have to deal with that. We're going to Fear here to interrupt the demolitionists' reload, and our red paladin friend is down yet again. We're going to send our Void Torrent while we have Devouring Plague up. That's super important. I cannot overstate how important that is for this build. We're going to Shadow Crash again on top of everything. The Inspector didn't get hit by that, but we'll just reapply our dots to them and be able to hit them with our instant cast dot as well. Oh, yep. I greeted big time for that. And I paid the price. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to wait for this as well, because we decided to do the run past the snipers thing. That's alright. Can I soothe all of these guys and then fade past them? Yeah, I can. I'm going to fade and just run straight past them. They just don't give a shit. We have 3 soldiers being pulled. I think we wanted to pull that into next. Straight into the boss, maybe. I'm going to try and build up some resources before we head into the boss. No, it looks like we're just taking these guys out. I'm not going to send my Void Torrent here. It just doesn't feel worth it. We're slowly moving up there. Little confused as to what we want to do here. I sent my Shadow Crash, which is probably a mistake, because we're probably about to pull boss, and then I'm going to need Shadow Crash for that. But I could just manually dot the adds on the boss. Did I send Shadow Crash? Because Shadow Crash is already off cooldown. I think we're about to pull the boss. Yes, we are. I'm going to send Devouring Plague into this, and let's blast off with the DK. Send our Void Torrent into the boss, and then Void Blast out the wazoo. We want to get at least 3 Void Blasts. We got our 3 Void Blasts. That's beautiful. We did manage to dot everything up with a juicy Shadow Crash. Gotta keep sending Shadow Crash on this build because we have nothing that extends our dots naturally. My orb will just move into the melee DPS here, so I don't have to worry too much about who's going to grab it. I'll have to grab these guys' balls though. Otherwise, we might have some issues. We're going to send this into... Oh, I should have Void Torrented later, but that's okay. Void Torrent gives us Entropic Rift, which lets us still do a good chunk of damage to the boss here. I'm going to send Shadow Crash. We're going to hold Shadow Crash, actually. Manually dot the boss and then hold Shadow Crash, because we're going to use Shadow Crash to dot up these bad boys. Okay. 3 are over there, so I'm going to Shadow Crash them, and then I'm going to manually dot that last guy. All right, we have enough for Devouring Plague. We're going to send out the Devouring Plague and our Void Torrent, as well as our Dark Ascension. And now we're blasting. Maximum Distortion interrupted over there. Shadow Crash is available. I'm going to go ahead and send it. Manually dot this one, and then instant cast dot the boss, which will do a shit ton of direct damage, helping us maintain some DPS. Trying to move into people with my orb so that I consume it. I'm going to stand over here, going to use both of my defensives and a dispersion. I was very scared there if it wasn't readily apparent. I need to reapply Shadow of Devouring Plague before I do anything. I'm not going to send my Void Torrent just yet. I want to make sure that I have the damage amp started here. The jump start. Beautiful. And now we can blast as hard as we can into that jump start. And my cooldowns are a bit desynced, but I just don't care at this point. It's just going to be how it is. I think here we could kind of ignore the cleave on the adds. We should focus our damage onto Big Mama because she is about to blow up. Running low on space here, I'm going to send PI into the DK and send my Void Torrent. Sonic Boom is close to us and going into the wall, which is going to take out the DK. Not a great situation, but we were in the middle of the room when we started the boss fight, so that was probably why we had such trouble here. I'm going to send my dots out again with a Shadow Crash. Maximum Distortion, we're going to go ahead and interrupt. And Big Mama needs to die soon. I'm trying to avoid that Sonic Boom or whatever the hell that is. I don't have an interrupt for this one. I'm pinging the boss instead of the drone that I wanted to ping. I really just, oh, very bad situation actually. We should have probably sent the CR here. We need an interrupt on that. I'm going to send out the Halo and the group heal. I'm trying to finish off these mobs. I think with the DK still alive, we might have been able to take care of these adds sooner, but it's looking rough. Are we supposed to keep focusing the boss? Isn't it 80% damage reduction? A rough one for sure, but I think we can finish off the boss. 5 million damage. We're better off finishing off the drones because they're not taking 80% DR. Trying to finish off the drones, but my dots are not present on them. Jumpstart going out, and we managed to finish that off. That was an experience for sure. You need a drink. Okay, they are sending a res. They will res both of them, so great CR use Paladin. Amazing. I think he was trying to save it. I didn't think he thought we needed it, but that's okay. A little bit of sarcasm gets you a long way, apparently. Looks like we're headed into the next pull, dropping down our Shadow Crash. Let's send out our Halo, maybe do a bit of healing, who knows, and let's send all of our cooldowns. Send both of my defensives here, try to get as many Void Blasts out as possible. One more would do the trick to keep our Entropic Rift up for a second longer. We have some Inspectors joining the fray. I'm going to try and dot both of them up. We have to do so manually. I'm now going to focus on one of the Inspectors as my prio target, as they are the beefiest mob currently in the pull. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It might have. I don't know how you accidentally pulled those guys. They're really far behind. I don't know. But we're going to take care of them. We have a Void Torrent active. Didn't get the last tick of Void Torrent buffed, unfortunately, but we're going to take care of these guys pretty dang quick. 30-second damage windows feels a lot better, or rather 30 seconds between every time I can do some decent damage is kind of nice. I'm actually enjoying this now that I'm a little bit better at it. Okay, we're pulling some more mobs here. Snipers are being pulled. We're going to go ahead and dot up the snipers down there. Gonna try and get that dot down. Who else do I need to dot? I need to dot this loader bot and some more loader bots. I'm trying to target them, but my unit frames don't agree with me. All right, I think here we send Dark Ascension and Shadow Crash again, and we just kind of YOLO it. We send in the stuff and call it a day. I tried to use my instant cast redotting thing, but it was not possible. We're going to interrupt that thing, whatever it is that's casting. It was a sniper trying to cast one of the trick shots, but we're not going to let that happen. All right, I think most things are now dotted. We're going to keep Shadow Crashing here. Soldiers are the beefiest things left, so we're going to focus on the soldiers. That was a bit of a messy pull. I didn't really see that one before, but I'm hoping we can skip some stuff later. I feel like we're a little bit over percent. Actually, no, we didn't pull as much in the first pull that we do at the start of the dungeon, so we're maybe making up for that right now. We have Shadow Crash available. We're going to go ahead and send it here. Okay, we're going to have to dot these guys up manually, so let's do that. Reload is being interrupted by my fear, trying to send all my stuff, and now we're going to target the Blood Warper with our prio damage. Okay, PI the DK, send out our stuff. Overcapping on the thingy thing with the stuffy stuff, insanity, but that's okay. Nobody taking care of the reload. It looks like we are going to get a bunch of swirlies now. Shadow Crash has to go out again because we ran out of dots. I think there's going to be another set of swirlies before he has to reload again. Nope, he's reloading. That's all right. We're going to click this. Okay, the healer noticed that I was already on it, so he just backed away. Give ourselves a feather and fly off into the distance with the goblin gliders. It looks like we're going straight across to the target marker, which is perfect. Gotta reach up here. I got little legs. I can't jump up there like all of you guys. All right, we're probably gonna drag this into next. I'm not 100% sure. But what I am 100% sure about is that we have some divers joining us. That was unexpected. What? I am 100% sure about makes very confused. Confused sound. All right, we're just gonna send it here. I can't be holding cooldowns for this long. I wasn't sure if we were gonna send if we were going to pull more over there or not. It looks like we are pulling more over there. Was it intentional or not? Nobody knows. Scaffolding over there needs to be addressed. I'm going to fade here because I'm going to get hit by shit inevitably. We have group heal available. I got beamed down for a little bit, so I was standing in poo-poo. I don't want to stand in poo-poo. Trying to... Oh, okay. Was there a mine on top of me or something? Am I stupid? I don't understand. Whatever the heck it is that's going on, this has become a bit of an annoying run for me because this route is unconventional, let's put it that way. I'm not sure which way to go to make sure I don't pull anything, so I'm just going to take the whole shebang route all the way around, make sure I don't pull anything over here. Don't want to cause more trouble than I already have. We're going to run up to the thing and just glide over like we did initially. What did I die to there? I'm a little bit curious. Euphorium charge? Did I not see one spawning underneath me, or do they just blow up after a bit of time and I shouldn't stand near them? I don't know, actually. But my job here is to avoid pulling crabs. I just don't want to pull any crabs, and these divers are also scary, but we'll take care of it. We managed to jump over. See Euphorium charge over here, very scary. We did a big pull up here. I'm gonna put a focus on this, try to interrupt it, drop my thing. There is a scaffolding guy. Are you kidding me? We pulled scaffolding guy into into these guys. That is insane. Why? Because he will root you. I'm going to try and focus the bejesus out of him. I need to move my orbs into someone here. Kill the architect immediately. We're going to fear to interrupt that, and now we can focus on the surveyor, I guess. I don't know. I should probably focus on these big guys. Let's drop that shadow crash. Sending both of my defensives here because I stood in some flamethrower. That was one of the choices of all time by the tank, I gotta admit. If you pull the architect into the shredation, guys, you are asking for trouble because he will root you. I don't know where we're going. We're going out of line of sight of any of the ranged, and I guess we're trying to pull the boss with a shredation, guys, now, just because the architect wasn't difficult enough. What the hell is going on in this run? Okay, we Divine Storm pulled the boss with 8% mana on our healer. Good luck, healer. Bad. Okay, it's the paladin that's causing some trouble here, but we're gonna go ahead and focus. I should switch over to Bront, which is what I'm gonna do, and then I'm gonna send out my Void Torrent. If I get the dot, I need to position. DK has to go here. DK has to go here. We're gonna yoink him into these. So, are you stupid, bro? Do you not understand how the fucking fight works? I'm sorry, but that was just like I dragged him into the orb bomb so that we can explode him. Okay, I'm glad I used my defensive there. I'm so overwhelmed right now because there's so many people doing so many things wrong that it's it's hard not to comment on those. I try not to focus on other people fucking up, but sometimes they fuck up so much there's nothing else to talk about. Sorry, maybe it's toxic, I don't know, but at least this person knows that they need to stop the bomb from blowing up by putting that thing on them. We unfortunately don't get any bombs broken or knocked away by this thing, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and try and do some damage here. I don't have any of these. We will get another... we're gonna have to heal through one of those blowing up. Okay, we managed to take care of it. This time the DK understands what he's supposed to do. We're gonna have one of the orbs blow up, or one of the bombs blow up, whatever, man. I'm seeing the orbs and having trouble grabbing this guy's balls. He doesn't want me to grab his balls, and I understand. Sometimes they're tender, they're sensitive, you don't want that to happen. I understand. Another charge on me. I'm gonna try and direct it into this last one. There's one last charge on the tank. We're gonna go ahead and keep I'm not even gonna dot quick fuse. I don't want to cleave onto quick fuse at all. Yeah, spread the love. Again, I'm not dotting quick fuse because we don't want Bront to enrage, which he just did. It seems like the group is not particularly familiar with how this boss fight is supposed to go, but whatever. Congratulations to the healer for handling that. I'm gonna make him touch my balls as a reward. There we go. We did send off the fire thing, the gun, so we broke the airship, which means we get to... Okay, he's pulling everything without a healer present. This tank's awareness is legendary, let's put it that way. We gotta focus the kelp here. we're gonna send all of our cooldowns. I think that's all. We just got to do that right now, and we're gonna send our group heal. We have Void Torrent up. We're gonna send that. Hopefully that is enough to keep us alive here. I'm gonna send a Mass Dispel to get rid of these kelp buffs. I gotta dot a few of them up manually and then send a Shadow Crash. I'm gonna PI the healer just to hopefully... I should have just sent my defensive cooldowns. I PI'd the healer just to hopefully keep them alive, but the healer's dead. It is a dumbass pull, I agree, healer, but, you know, tanks can't get criticized, otherwise you get flamed in your comments. I gotta go around this side. I don't know, we just reset, bro. Sometimes the best thing you can do is die. We just reset, call it a day, try again, and then we can actually maybe even clear it. Unfortunately, the tank is kind of a dick. So this run ain't it, folks. But we're going to go ahead and keep queuing for a Floodgate, because if we time a 10, we are done with the challenge. That was embarrassing. The tank kicks the healer after actively sabotaging everything the healer was trying to do, which is drink. The healer just wanted to get some mana. Whatever, man. But I am kind of happy with my DPS on Void Weaver, so let's try and keep running this this build right now. It looks like it just does way better than Archon now that I'm comfortable with the class. So for our next 10 key, hopefully Floodgate, we'll do that again.
One eternity later.
And here we go with attempt number 2 of Floodgate plus 10. Hopefully this is the one. Let's see if the route is better, and if this time the tank doesn't flip out on the Shaman healer. Now we're doing the same shit route again. Okay, cool. This time pulling the snipers at least, if nothing else. I am for some reason being sniped down. I'm gonna go ahead and send all of my cooldowns here. Gonna interrupt this, fear this. Okay, wonderful. We're gonna try to step into this. What are we doing? Why are we running off of this platform? I do not understand what's going on here. That's what the fuck, man. It's really not that difficult to do this pull. I don't know why we're struggling with it. We're gonna go ahead and send the group heal cooldown here, try and keep ourselves as safe as possible. Sorry, I'm just a little frustrated now. I know that I'm whining again about tanks, but I don't understand what the point of this pull is. I'm getting absolutely blasted by these mobs. We're trying to run away from the loaders. Is that what we're trying to do? I don't know at this point. I would love to fear that, but I don't have a fear available, unfortunately. We're going to try and beam... Jesus Christ. Why are we pulling the snipers, man? Why? And why are we running back and forth? Okay, well, I guess I did some damage. I don't know, man. That was such a weird pull. Whatever. Moving on. I'm sorry if I seem a little frustrated. It's because the last run that I did in this dungeon was perfectly timeable, and then the tank just got some sand in his vagina and started getting very, very irritated with the healer after he pulled something he should not have pulled with the healer's drinking at a different location in the dungeon. So there's always that. Look at this surveyor. Gonna drop my stuff. Really want to make sure I have a devouring plague rolling before I send all of my cooldowns here. We're gonna send our cooldowns now. Get these void blasts out as quickly as possible. They're very, very important. You want to get 3 void blasts out during your entropic rift, so that you get an extra 3 seconds of the entropic rift. Beautiful. We're now able to move on from the pyromancer, whatever the guy is called, into whatever else we need to blast. Just about done. Apparently we're pulling this way around. Okay, something new every run. It's amazing. Gonna focus the scaffolding, gonna interrupt the surveyor over here so that he moves in with the rest of the group. The scaffolding is gone, so we're gonna switch over to the architect. I'm gonna send my PI onto the warrior or something. I don't know, man. I'm kind of lost in the sauce here for a second. Gonna move forward and try to grab some balls here. It's always good. Let's get our Shadow Crash back down. Architect is doing rapid construction, which means we need to switch to the scaffolding. Easier said than done. I'm rooted and getting rotated on by those little guys, so I gotta be careful about that. It did die right as it reached me, so I don't have to worry about it too much. We're gonna go ahead and send our Void Torrent into this barely surviving group. Probably should have kept it for the next pull, but whatever. Activating the bomb here. We're gonna mount up and run away. More sniper pulls, but okay, this is a more conventional pull. I'm not too annoyed by this one. Not annoyed at all, actually. This is what I should say. We're gonna try and send out our Halo here, put down the Shadow Fiend, kick this thing. Trying to stand in melee as a ranged DPS so that I don't send these guys off into Narnia when they try to jump to me. Devouring Plague finally up. Now I can send my stupid what is this thing called? Void Torrent. Trying to do 15 other things at the same time. And Demolitionist puts his thing down. He didn't get interrupted. I feared him once, but I can't do much more than that. My fear is not available just yet. Gonna rocket jump through, try to land my thing on someone. Trying to target this guy, but I can't do that. I need another Shadow Crash. The Demolitionist is gonna get his thing off again because nobody's looking to CC them. That's alright. Big Swirlies coming in here in a second. RPG is being cast. There's the Swirlies. We gotta move out of them, get those Void Blasts out, and try to finish off this pull. Mediocre DPS at best here on this pull, but it's whatever. The tank actually topped DPS because he could just stand there and beat the shit out of it. Hopefully this time around we pull closer to the edge of the room so we don't run out of space like we did in the last pull. We're ready to go. Shaman's ready to go. We're gonna Shadow Crash and hit basically nothing. Our friend the warrior nearly kicked the bucket there. Let's send our Halo. I'm going to Dispersion here, let that just go through. We've sent our Halo, and now I can finally try and get some damage done. We're going to have to dot this thing manually, which will give us instant cast on the boss, put down Devouring Plague, and then send this. Extortion gets interrupted by our friend the Shaman. We're going to go ahead and focus on DPSing the boss now and cleaving off to these guys with our Vampiric touch on all of them. All right, beautiful. Trying to get my balls touched here. Nobody's really trying to touch my balls. They're kind of just standing there. That's okay. I could have positioned a little bit better with that. We're gonna reapply our dots. We really need to kill that drone, but it's line of sighting me, so I couldn't. And now we have our Void Torrent available to send into the boss. We're gonna try and get our multiple Void Blasts in, and we have Shadow Word Death available as well. Make sure we keep up our, what's this thing called? Devouring Plague. We have Shadow Crash available here to send into the drones. We're going to go ahead and do so. Right about now, they should be grouping up. There we go. We managed to get all of them hit by it. We're going to send out Halo to Devouring Plague into Dark Ascendancy or Dark Ascension, whatever the heck. That's being pointed away from me. I can appreciate that. Maximum Distortion interrupted again by the Shaman. Beautiful. Going to manually send dots into that one in the background, and now we're going to send our Void Blasts again. I'm just going to wait for my thingy to rotate into the melee, and that should work just fine. By thingy, I mean, oh no. I'm just going to have to go this way. That's getting hit by that. Does not feel great. Jumpstart is going in. I have Void Torrent coming up in here in a second. I'm going to PI the warrior and send out all of our damage here. Void Torrents coming out, desyncing my cooldowns, but again, I don't care. I just want to send them when I have them. Did manage to get my Void Torrent out during the jump start, so that is good. Shadow Crash is available in just a moment. Gonna send it now as the mobs group up. Manually dot one of them again, I guess, to get the instant cast out, and then we're going to use Dark Ascension again. We are in the execute phase, so oh shit. I did not expect to get that sent at me, so I'm just going to die in the background. That was really fun. Did they move? Did I not see it? Am I stupid? I don't think I should take this CR. I think we should just kill... Oh, yeah, the healer should be res, not me. I'm going to decline the res so that the healer can take it. Are we just going to bleed out here at the end? Is that what's going to happen? It looks like that's what's going to happen. Shaman's blasting the bejesus out of the heals, but the Big Mama's about to electrocrush our tank to death, and then Kilo Blocker goes, my eyes. Okay. That is very demoralizing. The healer left. Why is this dungeon so difficult? I did die there like an idiot, but I don't think that was the reason. I don't think that was the reason we wiped. Okay, cool. What did we die to? Did we have the thing going off? Hold on. We died to the sonic boom, but maximum distortion was actually successfully cast. Maybe the shaman didn't get the kick this time, but I died to it going off. I was busy moving out of the sonic boom and getting shot, I guess. And then the maximum distortion went off because nobody else kicked it. It looks like only the shaman was really looking to kick it, according to the kicks here. Yes, maximum distortion. There was one by our red paladin, but back into the queue we go. I'm going to try a +10 one more time. If that doesn't work, MPG suggests that I can complete these two keys that I don't have timed on 8. Add an 8, and that should be... No, wait. What was I looking at? What would I need to time? At a 9? Yes, at a 9, and that should get it done. At 9, it's much more forgiving because the trash doesn't take long to kill at all on Tyrannical Week. So we can just go straight to the bosses and get that taken care of. But yeah, we're going to have to see how this works out. I'm having a horrible time, apparently. With that Motherload was great. But after that, it went downhill quick, guys. It went downhill real quick. Third time is the charm, right? Surely third time is the charm. Bloodlust first pull when gathered. Sounds good. We don't have Bloodlust, but I do have drums. That's what we agreed to, so we're going to go ahead and do that. Tank is quick on the group. I'm going to start pre-dotting here because I'm going to inevitably have to use some dots manually. Using drums now, PIing the guy. What's this guy? I should have really PI'd the DK, but it's whatever. I'm going to make this work. I have trust in this group. There's some blasters in here, as you can see from the DPS, and in general, they just seem to have a lot of rating. Let me show you the group in the bottom right corner right now. You can see it. There you go. Get a good look at it, and it's gone. Hiding that now. You never get to know that anymore, what the group is like. The group is such that our DK stood in some doo-doo and got wiped out, but that's all right. We're going to send our Shadow Crash again, still have a lot. Shredation just finished casting, so we got to make sure we don't kick the bucket here. Apparently, we still kick the bucket, though. Shredation, very hard to avoid, as you might imagine. You know, a saw blade standing still on the ground. Very difficult concept. I apologize about the sass, but I am just, I'm a little tired of this dungeon. A little bit tired of this dungeon because I keep having some interesting pulls, and this is my third attempt, as I mentioned, of trying to get this. I really, Tank, I would love to grab your balls, but I can't do that from all the way over here when you're running away from me. I'm gonna try and dot up these guys, make sure that everything is dotted, and then we're gonna blast the bejesus out of the Surveyor. Let's send all of our cooldowns here. Big Void Torrent, wasting a lot of insanity, but that's okay. We just want to make sure that Void Torrent gets fully channeled. Lots of damage from that, especially once we have our Devouring Plague up, as that increases the damage done by Void Torrent by 40%. Yeah, since we have the other dots up as well. Big damage coming out here, actually managing to top DPS. Something's wrong with the group if I'm top DPS, or maybe something's finally right with the group now that I'm top DPS. Death Rip comes in on the Surveyor, Shadow Crash finally available. We're going to focus on the Architect because he's a big pain in the booty hole. We're going to give the DK Bloodlust, what? PI this time. I am rooted and can't get away from these loader bots, but now I finally managed to move just a little bit to the side. I'm going to put a focus on the Surveyor. He's going to be casting soon. We're going to Shadow Crash yet again. Our orb has been taken care of. I'm having to stand in some poo-poo here. Don't like standing in poo-poo. Is the scaffolding up? The scaffolding is now gone. I can focus. Well, I could continue blasting and wasting damage into the Architect. I kind of kept hitting him while he was in scaffolding, and that was a bit of a waste of damage, but it's okay. We're still doing okay. Liking these pulls so far. Wasted my Void Torrent there, but who cares? We're just going to move on. I've been overthinking the whole cooldown thing. I'm trying to soothe here. I'm going to soothe the Demolitionist. Nope, we're just pulling all of that together with this. We're going to go ahead, start dotting up manually. Jump over there. I'm going to use my rocket jump just to make sure I get over there. Oh, never mind that the inspectors haven't been pulled. All right. I have no idea what the focus at this point. I'm a little bit lost in the sauce here. Demolition going out. We're going to fear it. Oh, it got pulled back, like knocked back and then pulled back in. Very nice. We have Shadow Crash available again. Demolitionist is now dead. I can switch over to whatever I like. I'm going to send out a Halo just because there's a few targets here and I don't want to use Dark Ascension when the mobs are about to die. I only do that with Void Torrent, apparently. Trying to grab everyone's balls here. Make sure we grab the balls. We're grabbing Double Sniper into the loader bots. Death Grip's coming through from the DK. We're going to Shadow Crash the rest of these bad boys, and we're going to focus on these guys. I'm going to send my cooldowns here again. Don't care if they're synced. Really don't give a shit. Just going to send my cooldowns as soon as I can when there is a pull worth doing so. Or thing. I don't know. We have PI available. We're waiting to see if somebody wants it. I don't see an opportunity to really spend PI on this unless we're going to go straight into the boss. It does not look like we're grabbing the two soldiers into the boss. It was a good opportunity to chain. Never mind, we are doing so. We're going to go ahead and manually dot these up, and then we'll refresh with Shadow Crash when we get a chance to. All right, we have PI. Dark Ascension is a little bit away. Yeah, screw it. We're going to PI the DK who just uses cooldowns. We're going to send our Void Torrent in, and we're going to try and do some serious business damage here. Dark Ascension will go out in just a little bit. Until then, we're just doing our standard rotation. Let's get an extra Void Blast out if possible. We did, I think, get 3 Void Blasts out. You want to get 3 Void Blasts out because that way you can increase the duration of the Void or the Entropic Rift by 3 seconds, 1 for each Void Blast. You can't increase it past that, so there's no point in doing so. We are about to send a Void Torrent into a jump start, which is beautiful. We have an instant cast Void Blast available, so we can move into the protective dome that our Diga has provided for us. I failed the ABC of casters there for a second. Always be casting. I always try to always be casting, but I did not manage to do so this time around. No big deal though. We're gonna manually dot what we didn't hit with Shadow Crash, which is apparently we just didn't hit anything with Shadow Crash, so that's great. It's good. Very nice. Make sure I interrupt that distortion because I don't want to have to die to that. And then we're going to send another Shadow Crash to refresh everything. Refresh our Devouring Plague, and we should have everything ready to send cooldowns here. Dark Ascension into Void Torrent. Getting some good cleave onto these adds. One of the adds is already dead. I'm trying to avoid swirlies and everything else, as well as that giant swirly, big dangerous. Reapply dots to this. Instant cast dot on the boss because it does extra damage, trying to make the tank touch my balls, but he's avoiding it. He doesn't want to participate in that activity, which I can understand. Big Mama is now vulnerable. We're gonna go ahead and blast the bejesus out of her. We got a Void Torrent ready. Devouring Plague into Void Torrent. PI gets procced. That is beautiful. Get the Void Blasts out. Weave in a Devouring Plague. Good damage onto Big Mama here during that vulnerability. We're now going to go ahead and finish off Big Mama without having to really focus on the drones too much. I'm not even going to bother hitting the drones here. Big Mama should go down. 13 million left, 6 million left. Touch of Death takes her out. Shadow Crash not available, unfortunately, for the next pull, but we're going to go ahead and just manually dot things. It's not a big deal. Shadow Crash now available. I am actually going to send it. DK is sending cooldowns. I'm going to give him PI. We're going to Void Torrent here and try to get these Void Blasts out like I talk about constantly. Trying to make people touch my balls, and then we're going to focus on those Void Blasts again and take care of the Blood Warper. We're focusing the Blood Warper obviously because he's the beefiest mob, and we cleave off onto the side. I'm not going to send Shadow Crashes here because we're about to finish this pull off and be done. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Looks like the monk, the party lead, is also doing the same. Excuse me, a little burp there. I just drank a bit of Red Bull, and can you tell by the commentary going 200 miles an hour? I think you can. Danny's in the background just said no. I don't know if the microphone picked it up. Looks like we're pulling just about everything here. Gonna reapply dots onto the big guy because why we want to do that is because we get the instant cast, which is quite a bit. We're gonna try and send out our Void Torrent with the group heal here. I'm gonna send both of my defensives after I'm done channeling that, and now the Void Blast will be empowered by the thing. Blind goes out, takes care of that reload. I was gonna fear it, but they beat me to it, which is good. Now I can do the next reload. Shadow Crash needs to be reapplied so that we can get our stuff back. We're gonna go ahead and use a fear to interrupt that reload. We don't want to have to move for those swirlies. Somebody else might need to interrupt it here. Otherwise, the militia is just going to die before he does the actual RPG cast. So we are safe. Would love for this pull to last just a little tiny bit longer. All is well. Gonna need someone to touch my balls over here. Perfect. Everyone's coming over to touch my balls. I love that. Average Friday night for the Vlad. Oh, okay. We're going into divers here instead of going into the scaffolding guy pull. I'm targeted by Zeppelin. Oh, I'm so sorry, friends. Oh no, I landed into the okay, it's whatever. This is fine. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. We're gonna interrupt that one, redot this one. We're dragging a bunch of these guys. Oof, these Sephorium charges are so dangerous. We're pulling the divers into the Architect here. That is novel, I have to say. I'm gonna have to dispersion here just to survive. Okay, I think I'm safe now. Let's let's get a handle on this situation now. Okay, we're gonna send out the group heal here just to make sure that I'm okay. And now I'm gonna Void Torrent. Sorry, I got caught off guard. I haven't seen this before. And looking at it, it doesn't seem like a horrible idea. It's just kind of scary, that's all. We're gonna give the DK PI. We're going to focus on the scaffolding now because we can't hit the big guy until we take down the scaffolding. The big guy being the Architect. They're pretty beefy and a good focus target because, ooh, I got yoinked. Ooh, that was scary as I just got yoinked in by that harpoon thing, and I was worried I was going to hit a mine. Looks like we're moving on to the next group. Shadow Crash not available. We're going to go ahead and try and dot everything up manually for a little bit here. We're going to put focus on the, what are they called? Surveyors or whatever. And then we're going to focus the Architect. There we go. That took a second to set up, but we're going to send our Void Torrent now and then the Void Blasts. Nail gun going down, rooting the DK, that's alright. Beams are not going to be cast now, so we don't have to worry about that too much. Scaffolding is going to go up in a second here. We're going to fear to interrupt one of the beams, and the other beam hopefully gets interrupted by one of our friends here. Going to shadow crash after dotting the scaffolding. Scaffolding is going to go down quickly. The contractor gets DOS reapplied to it, which is not who I wanted to target. I wanted to target the architect, but that's okay. Architect will be going down soon. I'm getting absolutely blasted by something. I don't even know what. I'm going to send a little heal on myself and a little shield on myself. Very impressed by the healing being done this run so far. I should point that out. Make sure I move during shredation. There we go. We're going to put a focus on... Okay. We got to redot here. He staggered in some mobs here, but that's okay. Tank was just trying to establish his aggro, trying to move, and now we can focus our damage. Oh, shit. I'm going to send both my defensives. Screw it. I'm still scared, still trying to gather my thoughts here. Move out of shredation. Let's get Shadow Crash down. And now I think I'm finally ready. Let's send actual cooldowns here into the flamethrower guy, into the shredation guy, whatever you want to call it. I do have PI available. I'm going to send it on the DK, I guess. That is such a wasted PI. I just looked at what was going on. It took me forever to set up there because I was just scared for my life from multiple damage sources. But it worked out in the end. My friend, the druid, kept me safe and alive. Beautiful. Okay. Not proud of my DPS on that pull. That could have been a lot more DPS, but I just kind of got flustered. It's not like we expect Vlad to do well on a caster anyway, right? I like how I referred to myself in the third face there. How do you say that in English? Whatever. Third person, that's the one. There we go. Oh man, getting a little flustered here. The healer can take care of 3 bombs at the same time with that thought. That's beautiful. I'm going to take care of 1 bomb by charging Bront into it right here. Need to make sure somebody touches my balls. I just get very, very upset when nobody touches my balls. There we go. We've taken care of all of it. Dot does go out. I'm trying to focus Bront because I think focusing Bront is the right idea. He gets less uptime from the melee, resulting in less damage being done to him overall. So if I as range can focus Bront, I will do so. He does seem to be getting beat up pretty bad though. I don't know. I don't think it's me doing a lot of damage. I think it's just everyone kind of focusing and making it happen. There's only a % or so difference, so it's not a big deal. We're going to shield our friend here to make sure that he doesn't kick the bucket. I think we're taking care of both of these bombs with that charge. That's beautiful. And we're ready to send out a Void Torrent here in just a moment. We're going to do so, desyncing our cooldowns even further, but again, I don't give a shit. I just want to send my cooldowns. Gotta make sure I move out of that beam. Don't want that beam taking me out. I'm gonna switch back to Bront. Gonna PI the DK who just sent his cooldowns. Monk moves over, gets that done, charges on me. I gotta make sure it goes into this. Managed to dodge the big boy. Finally have Dark Ascendancy ready to cast. Charge goes out, doesn't hit anything. Does hit one of them, that's beautiful. Tank knows his charge is up next, so he moves over to make the charge take care of the last one. We're going to use both defensives here. Make sure that to soften the blow of getting dispelled because it does hurt quite a bit. Gotta keep that in mind. Bront, as you can see, a little bit healthier than the other boss, but that's okay. The tank should be able to take a couple of these bonks. A druid is taking care of the bomb. He's going to get there sooner with his travel form than I will with my little feather. Somebody used the gun, took out the zeppelin, and now we're ready to move on to the kelp. Great run so far. Genuinely just really enjoying this run. My DPS is not great, but we're getting a CC call out here. Okay, C. We want to CC the mobs. CC the seaweed. They do look like seaweed, so. Anyway, I'm going to send out the group heal here and send out all of my cooldowns. I'm going to use my fear last. I do have Mass Dispel available for when the casts inevitably do go through and buff up the mobs and give them some heals. We're going to Mass Dispel now, and we should be a-okay. We just bursted these guys down pretty dang quick, so there's not much to it. Beautiful. My cooldowns might be no. They look pretty scattered still, but that's okay. We have Bloodlust available for this boss, which I think is the right call. I have a minute away to group heal, so probably a little bit after the Bloodlust and all the cooldowns runs out, I'll be able to maybe contribute a bit to the healing. 20 seconds away from our Dark Ascension, so I won't be able to sync up my cooldowns, but I don't really care. We're going to send it anyway. We're getting the left call out. Used my Void Torrent before I had my Devouring Plague up, which was a bad move, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and send the Shadow Crash here just to keep that rolling. Get the Void Blasts out. Kind of a little confused about my priority here, but that's okay. There is one right underneath the boss. I'm just going to move backwards a little bit to make sure that I don't get beamed by that one. Let's do right. No, why? For once. Okay, let's see if somebody actually goes to the right. Ah! That was so scary. Okay, so we went right just because. Back to left. Okay, whatever. There isn't one underneath the boss. I'm going to self-heal myself for the 10% DR that I get from using flash heal on myself. Holy shit, okay, I don't even have dots on the boss. That's how flustered I am from moving to the other side one time. Because I wasn't sure if people would do it or not. Okay, we're going to the left. Oh, no. Tank, you need to not troll me like that. Just go to the left like everyone in the universe is doing right now. Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on with that? Send the group heal, send Dark Ascension, send this. I'm gonna get hit by the wave. Actually, I can freaking move while casting Void Torrent. I'm just stupid. I got pulled into one of those waves because we're kind of scattering like rats. We're going full on Pirate Software cosplay here. Are we going to the left or the right? It looks like the tank really wants to go to the right just to troll people, to make this a little bit more interesting for himself, I guess. I don't know. He wants to yank people around. Whatever, man. This guy's trolling us. What the hell is going on with this tank? All right, we have PI available. I'm just going to send PI and a Void Torrent. Should have used Devouring Plague first. We're actually moving to the left. I'm not linked to the tank this time, so I'm not going to get trolled by the tank, at least, if nothing else. I'm linked to the monk, so I should be okay. Boss finally kicks the bucket. I'm ready to move on. That was extremely stressful. I'm so sorry if the commentary made no sense and was gibberish, but at least, just like the DK just said, at least it was entertaining. If that's what we want to call that, sure. Let's activate Dumbo over here. Let's stack up over here to make all the orbs land at the same spot. People are kind of running forward. Let's make those land right at the same spot. Shadow Crash, Runtal on me. I'm going to try and stack with the melee for this one, and let's just send our cooldowns as best we can. Backwash coming through. We have anti-magic zone on top of us. We're going to try and not waste any insanity here. Didn't overcap. That's beautiful to see. Okay, we managed to stay alive thanks to our healer and the anti-magic zone there. Next time I'm going to actually send some cooldowns for the backwash, which is the triple stack dot that goes out over here. We're going to use Fade, and then when we get a little bit lower, we're going to use our Desperate Prayer, which will give us some health back as well as extra maximum health. I don't know if it makes sense to use it before or after being hit. I'm just going to YOLO it and send it the way I sent it just now. Sending out our Void Torrent here near the end of Bubble's health bar. Backwash coming out one more time. We're going to Fade and self-heal in the middle of it for the 10% DR. And we should be okay. Just going to keep sending heals here. Big Hots by the Resto Druid. Who would have thunk it? The hot class has big hots. We're going to go ahead and interrupt that. Never mind. We have a Prot Paladin. I don't know why I'm talking about. Trying to stand in melee so the Inspector doesn't jump too far. Managed to do so. You're going to send PI here and just YOLO it. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm trying to focus the Inspector. That's what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Now I realize what I'm doing, so now I can continue. Okay. I wanted to switch to the new Inspector that just got pulled in because the Inspectors are the beefiest mobs in the pool, so I wanted to switch over to him and set up Devouring Plague before I send damage into him. Did I just stand in the frontal without realizing? Probably, because my health dipped super duper low. But luckily, I was able to survive. Are we pulling these? I'm going to soothe these because we got pretty dang close to them. All right. That looked for a second like we were going to pull the electricians again, and I wasn't a big fan of that. I want to get closer. I'm so sorry. I should have moved a little closer. Skip soothe next. Okay, so we got to hug the wall super duper tight. Like, you got to make sure you hug that wall like you've never hugged anyone in your life. Like your mom after not seeing her for 2 years. That's how tight you got to hug that wall. Unless you're in an estranged relationship with your mother, then obviously that might not be it. Okay, let's put it this way. You want to hug that wall as tight as you would hug your father if he said he was proud of you. There you go. We're going to soothe that and then immediately pull by not doing what we just talked about, which is hug to the right, really, really tight, really, really tight. There we go, there we go. Do we skip? We skip. Soothe again, give us more time. Beautiful. Ready to pull these last two dipshits. We're going to send the group heal and we're going to send cooldowns. Let's blast the bejesus out of this. Void Torrent. I can move while Void Torrenting, so I'm not too worried about that. There we go. Beautiful. Get the full Void Torrent out. Then we're going to step into the green circle of Healy goodness here. Oh, I'm excited. We're actually going to freaking finish this dungeon. It took 3 attempts, guys, to find a group that isn't just drooling onto their keyboards. It's amazing what you can do when a group isn't brand spanking new at the game. Let's put it that way. That's what it felt like with some of the other groups. That's okay. You're allowed to be new at the game. It's just going to lead to some frustration when you don't prepare in other avenues, like, you know, looking up a route or something like that, or learning which abilities actually do damage and what an interrupt is. But let's not get too salty. Our friend the healer is drinking. We're pulling the boss. We're going to PI our DK friend, set up Devouring Plague, send this out, send this out. Editing lad, enjoy that editing right there. You're very welcome. We're going to try not to overcap on Insanity and start sending out these Void Blasts. I'm going to get a little bit closer so that I can stand in this green circle of healing goodness. And now we'll see where the tank wants to go before sending our orb in a different direction to make sure that we don't... Oh, please don't kill me with the Giga Zap. Thank you. We don't want to steal the tank's orb puddle because that would be very, very bad. All the orbs are stacked kind of on top of each other. Mine's closest to this. Tank's going over in that direction with the mini-boss. Okay, not with the mini-boss? It's not a mini-boss. It's an actual boss, Vlad. Okay, we're good to go. We got to reapply dots here, and then we're going to Void Torrent while moving because we have Devouring Plague up already. It doesn't matter if I stand on puddles that have already been electrocuted. I'm going to send both my defensives here after getting Giga Zap because that shit hurts. And we are now ready for the turbocharge. I'm going to send out Halo here in a second. Sending out Halo, sending out Dark Ascension. And let's just blast the bejesus out of this. I'm going to move forward so that my orb touches the guys in melee. And now we're ready to deal with the same set of mechanics over and over again. It looks like the group's handling it quite well, so we don't have to do much. Tank getting Giga Punched. If I get Zap here, I don't get the Zap. Okay, I don't have to worry about that then. We're going to send our Void Torrent, and we have enough to refresh Devouring Plague after it's done. Use our Death Speaker proc, Void Blast as quickly as possible. Ooh, that's pretty bad. I'm going to go all the way over here. I don't think anyone else is reaching me all the way over here. Tank is positioned into the center. I'm able to reach the boss again. Now I can send some damage into it. Beautiful. Gonna reapply our dots here. I'm gonna send both of my defensives. I don't have both of my defensives. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we're gonna send Void Torrent. We're gonna send Group Heal here in just a second. Sending Group Heal. Get those Void Blasts out. Don't have a Void Blast, so I'm gonna go ahead and send Halo to help with the Group Heal. Tank takes care of my orb. Thank you for touching my balls, Tank. I really appreciate that. We're almost done. Tank takes care of another set of balls. Tank loves touching balls. It's his favorite thing. We're just about done with Giga Zap. He's about to tip over. We might even be able to 2-star this. After 2 attempts, we 2-star the +10 Floodgate. Amazing group. That was just a lot of fun. Everyone was playing amazingly well. Some good grips came out of the DK. Amazing healing. Good route. Amazing DPS as well. We're going to shill our YouTube channel. We're going to enjoy the 0 loot we got. Nobody else's cloth, so I don't care if they got anything. Unless they got a trinket, which they did not, And I'm going to peace out.
You did it, fam!
Yay, we did it! Celebratory ooh 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 is coming out in the background.
You get to be beautiful.
Tomorrow I get to be beautiful on stream.
Yeah, and live.
And level? Yeah, we love leveling. Leveling is great. All right, well, Danny just mentioned it. We'll be leveling, so make sure you get your votes in on the ranked poll for which melee DPS spec I should be playing. We're doing melee DPS next because that's the only role I haven't played so far this season. I mean, I've obviously played it on my own because my main is a red paladin, but yeah, get your votes in. I think at the moment Feral might be winning and Unholy DK is really close to being second best. Yes, and then we have a Survival Hunter coming up. So to vote, make sure you understand how the vote works. It's a ranked poll, which means you need to move the order of the options around so that your favorite is at the top and your least favorite is at the bottom. That way you can sort of get what you want even if you don't get your favorite pick, right? So move them around, make sure that, let's say you want to play Fury, you want me to play Fury Warrior, you move Fury Warrior to the top. If you absolutely hate Fury Warrior, you're going to move it all the way to the bottom. That way you can control how much extra points that spec gets. There you go. That's how it works. Make sure you do that so you don't waste your votes. And as Danny also mentioned, oh shit, I just jumped off before I finished my cast. Whatever, we got Levitate, we spin, Eldritch Ballerina back in action. But yes, as Danny also mentioned, big stream tomorrow. It is the Definitely Not Goth stream, which you guys reached the sub goal for. So that means you will have Goth Mommy Vlad at your service streaming. And it's also a whole day stream because we're leveling a brand new character. So make sure you tune in It's going to be both on YouTube and Twitch. But I do pay more attention to Twitch chat because of the nature of my UI. I can read it more easily, so I tend to sometimes miss some messages on YouTube chat. Just a note, just a note. But friends, that is us at 2,517 rating on the Shadow Priest. I feel like I did okay. I don't think I'm particularly great at this class. I think I do well enough to get through some of the shit that I have to get through. I should have probably been playing Void Weaver more. But I don't know, I was used to the Archon build, or rather the Void Eruption, a little bit more, so I wanted to play with something I was a bit more comfortable with, but it definitely underperforms compared to Void Weaver because you just don't get to sit in Void form for the full duration of all of your cooldowns because things just die too quickly. Void Weaver has a much shorter damage window, with a lot shorter cooldown. Every 30 seconds, basically, you do a good chunk of damage. And if you manage to sometimes accidentally overlap your Dark Ascension PI and your Void Torrent, you get to do a shit ton of damage. I'm not particularly good at that because of the nature of the pulls and the shortness of pulls. So there's that. I hope you enjoyed the Shadow Priest series. And again, make sure you tune into the stream and get ready for another series soon. Because that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe because there's more series coming. And if you want to see what happens between series and between episodes, check out the stream. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.